I was with a friend, a classmate, Father Mike Brown, in Central America, and we discovered that from where we were, there was a day trip being offered to go to Tikal, the famous Mayan ruins in the Petén section of Guatemala. I'd been wanting to go there since I was in high school. And it was only about a 3-hour trip each way. So we signed up, and that morning the van picked us up. There was a driver, ourselves, and I think 4 other passengers. Mike and I were sitting in the second row. So we started driving, and I think it's the only road that went to Tikal. And we're driving about half an hour or so, and the driver says, "We're entering the jungle. There are bandits here. They sometimes stop cars. So take all of your possessions, all your money, and hide it. But keep some out so when they come, you have something to give them." Needless to say, it was a little disconcerting that I found out about the bandits after we were already on the trip. Then I had a new problem. What is the going rate for giving money to bandits these days? How much do I keep and how much do I hide? By the way, I didn't have all that much with me to begin with. So I finally settled on an amount and took the rest of my money. I put some of it inside my hiking shoes, boots. I put some inside my big brimmed hat. It has a little lining in it. And then I decided I put some more under the mat on the floor of the van. And the rest I kept to give to the bandits. You know, guidebooks, they tell you how much to tip. They don't tell you how much to give to a robber. So I sat back and waited. And pretty soon, we were at Tikal. We hadn't been stopped at all. Was I disappointed? Not a bit. I don't remember that we were instructed anything on the way back. By then, who cares, you know? But nothing happened to us on the trip except a wonderful trip. But how many times we have this notion, we have to hold back something just in case. I bet most people, when you go on vacations, you do that. Maybe you have some extra money that you hide somewhere just in case. Or maybe you even have an extra credit card that you sew inside the lining of your jacket just in case. You hold back something. And yet the woman in the gospel did not hold back. And she was not facing robbers. She did it freely. She gave what she had. She did not put anything back for whatever reason. This is a powerful story, and we have to look at it in the setting. This is taking place in the temple in Jerusalem. Jesus is in the Jerusalem. We have worked our way through most of Mark's gospel. We're towards the end, really. In fact, the very next chapter, it goes into the Passion account of Jesus. We're at the end of the church calendar, really. So we know that the message is not just what we see at the surface. There's a deeper level. And the more I prayed over this and thought about it, yes, it is about the woman's generosity. Yes, it's about how much we give from our surplus as opposed to giving from our want. But the real thing is, it's not about the woman and money. It's about her faith. She held nothing back. I have talked to people over the years. When it comes to faith, they have some faith. They're connected to the church. Yeah, sort of. They pray often. It's sort of there, but they don't give it their all. It's like the person who says, I want to make sure I have enough faith that when I die and I discover there is an afterlife, God will be happy with me. But can we be like the woman and give our all? And again, not just about money, but about ourselves. Do we really totally believe our faith? Do we totally trust in God? Do we still want to hold back something just in case? just in case of other issues. The way this woman was able to trust totally is because she allowed herself to be vulnerable. She allowed herself to be affected by the situation around her. How many times we don't want to be vulnerable? We want to be in charge. We want to take control. We want to make sure that we are making sure. She didn't do that. She just allowed it to happen with complete trust. Earlier in the week, I found myself dialoguing with this woman, this anonymous widow. And the question I wanted to ask her was, what was her motivation? What made her decide to give everything she had? I finally concluded that if I had gone to her and said, "Ma'am, why did you give the last coins you had?" I finally concluded that her answer would have been, "Why not? Why not? It all belongs to God, and I'm going to put everything in God's hands."